together as if we, are capable of growing.
Yeah,
but,
I should.
It seems like every step forward is 2 steps back the next day.
I should invest in one of those camera remote control thingies.
Or a better camera that comes with a remote.
Okay.
We'll work on it. Baby steps, baby steps. What are you working on your phone there? Did somebody text you?
Yes, somebody.
Oh, is that Roz Monster?
Yeah.
Hey now, so we've been talking for the last couple episodes about the Women of Ink pageant controversy. And we mentioned last time how we were upset because we weren't able to get Roz Monster, the matriarch of the person at the epicenter of this whole thing. She's the one who started it off, got with the news people about it, started posting about it initially, which is where we ended up finding out about it. So hopefully we actually get a call from her at some point here and we're able to address this one last time for you guys.
She's a busy woman, so we understand. She's got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, if it ends up coming in a little bit later, we'll try and post it up and add it onto the last episode.
Yeah, because before all of this.
No. Anyway, we'll get to it if she calls, and we'll address it some more. Let's not take up too much of the time
we're
of
talking
this
about.
episode.
Oh, we're talking about how I'm such a professional.
Yeah, you're such a professional with your lack of jazz voice or video knowledge.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Some of us suck at life.
I suck at life. I just overplan shit. I expect everything to be A plus B equals C, and it doesn't.
I guess I can't call her an ex-girlfriend. We just casually dated, but there was one love interest of mine that that girl I was talking about during the other podcast.
No.
That was my most potential serious relationship. Anyways, her. She was telling me, she's like, you think too much. And I'm like, oh, usually girls tell me you complicate things. And
well,
like,
that's the same thing. You overthink things to the point where you're just complicating them for yourself.
Yeah.
But that's alright, it just takes a breath. Just gotta get used to breathing and taking your time with things. Unlike me on this podcast where I just ramble on and on, the first thing that comes out of my fucking head.
Yeah, I think we both do, but...
It always takes the Wednesday episode once we've gotten all the rambling and ranting out of the
and then I'm kind of worst in this because fucking I bounce off of you, so if you're just rambling, then I'm rambling, bouncing off of you, and I'm like the enabler in this.
I do not think that word means what you think it does.
Oh. Maybe it doesn't. You're
not enabling anything. I'm perfectly capable of doing this myself. But you're
okay.
Facilitating the conversation. Bye, Frank. Oh yeah, and for those of you confused on the video as to why you came in halfway through this conversation, it's because Frank doesn't know what he's doing.
No, I'm gonna have to unfuck that one. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do it.
Hymen doesn't grow back. Sorry. Impossible.
Yeah.
So before we started the last episode, you were talking to me about your trouble with the pre-workouts. What was going on with that?
Okay,
I think we mentioned that back in like episode 2 or something.
Yeah, it was probably episode 1. I don't know, one of the two.
So you're on a pre-workout.
What happened?
What kind?
It wasn't a supplement. Because if you recall,
it was a lot more like crack cocaine.
I had no clue what the fuck that was. I just bought it.
Yeah, you shouldn't take things without looking into it, man. Especially when it's supplements or dietary.
That's what they tell me at the VA. You shouldn't just take things.
Well, not only that, but you're also on medication too. Like you never know what kind of stuff is gonna react.
Yeah, that's why I always ask. So I asked, and I'm like, okay, so this is safe to fucking take.
Yeah.
So I did that, and it turns out it's a pre-workout called Resurrect. If it's not Resurrect, it's called Resurrection.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Yeah, the T looks similar to the T in Tesla.
Okay.
And probably when you look it up, you're like, that looks nothing like the T in Tesla.
Yeah, I don't know why you're bringing it up.
The Tesla model.
I don't care. You're
okay.
Tangent.
Anyways.
Focus.
So then, what happened? So then I gave it a shot. I'm like, okay, I'll take this lunchtime, and then we'll go walk around fucking noon. Walk all over town. Because that's what I do.
Yeah, well, had you told me that's what you were doing with the pre-workout, I would have told you not to. Because everybody recommends that you don't do any sort of cardio when you're on a pre-workout. Because all you're doing is sweating everything out. You're losing a lot of water mass, a lot of water weight, but you're also dangerously dehydrating yourself. It's bad for your liver and shit.
Yeah, well, I was also pounding water, not as much as I should have, but
Yeah,
I take breaks to drink water.
All a pre-workout's doing is slamming your body with L something. Anyway, and like B12 and shit. It's basically just energy supplements. It's not gonna. You might as well be drinking a Red Bull if all you're gonna do is walk around, because otherwise you're just spending an exorbitant amount of money on a product that's doing nothing for you in that moment other than giving you energy. Like what you want the pre-workout for is when you're actually lifting weights. You get the BCAAs and the other elements in there, the creatine and whatnot, so it helps you repair your muscles, keeps you from getting fatigued. But none of that is going to help you on a walk or a jog or a run, like anything cardio. You're really not getting any benefits from it. You're just adding more elements into your body that your body has to process and get rid of. So you end up gaining weight on it or making yourself sick because you're just too inundated with shit.
Yeah, and the idea was also to fucking hit the weights afterwards, but I would get home so fucking exhausted. And then a friend of mine told me, yeah, that thing's gonna give you energy for the rest of the day, like the entire day. And I'm like, well, apparently not.
No, it won't.
Because I fucking ran out of juice. But no, so then...
Yeah, some of them are good for an hour, some of them are good for like 4 to 6 hours. But more often than not, if you're using the energy and you're actually working out, you'll get a good 45 minutes out of it where you feel a good pump.
Yeah, so then the first time I took it, I just fucking chugged that shit, and I went to the VA. I'm like, by the time it kicks in, right, because I had my appointments, and I'm sitting there with my shrink, and I'm like, why do I feel so focused right now? I'm like, must be the heat. And then I had noticed that I was fucking jittering more than usual. You know, what do you call this? Fucking fidgeting.
There's a common symptom that comes with a lot of pre-workouts where they call it tunnel vision, where you feel like you can't focus on anything other than what you. It's a bit Adderall-y, a little bit like a amphetamine, which is, I mean, some of those things are actually cut like you hear about all the time, tainted supplements. It's because these supplements are all mass-produced in the same bins that other medicines were just mass-produced, and if the people working there don't necessarily clean out the systems correctly, you end up getting actual amphetamines mixed in, or you end up with a steroid of some kind in something that's just supposed to be like a protein shake or something. And it happens all the time. That's how, going back to UFC, that's how UFC fighters get popped with like micro amounts of things they're not supposed to have in their system. And they say it's because they're taking a particular supplement that was tainted. Yeah, so you can't just... the pre-work... I'm real sketchy. I'm real careful with the pre-workouts that I end up buying. Like, I wouldn't recommend anybody buying any type of pre-workout without doing some serious research as to whether or not it's been reviewed.
Yeah, so then I'm there with my shrink, and then I'm noticing these fucking things, and then he leans forward like this with his fucking arms crossed. He leans forward.
And then, still a microphone.
And then, I'm fucking.
I don't.
Right?
I get it. Okay. Take the mic with you.
And then what happened? And then I'm like, it freaks me out for some reason. And I'm like, am I coked out? What the fuck?
Yep, it's amphetamines. I'm telling you, some of those are just, they're just so jacked up with one thing just to give you a physical sensation that's all it's providing you is like this amphetamine drip or this coked out, like the creatine surge or whatever it is, too much B12. You might as well be slamming like 3 Red Bulls at a time because that's the only focus of that manufacturer is to get you feeling a certain way. It's not necessarily for the body repair, which is what those pre-workouts are supposed to be for. You want to get some energy out of them too, but if you're not getting something with proper repair additives in it, then you're just wasting your money, man. Those things you're just buying overpriced, overcharged fucking energy drinks.
Yeah, so then I get back to my car and I'm like, holy shit, was that the pre-workout? Is that what those memes mean when they're talking about when the pre-workout kicks in? But then oddly enough, that was the only time I ever felt it kick in. afterwards, I tried it for the rest of the week, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe a few more days.
on the bottles they'll tell you like we recommend half a dose when you start, or a single scoop when you start, so that your body can acclimate to it. Because it's just like anything else, your body will adjust to it immediately. Because it's all just changing the chemical composition of your stomach and the shit. So I mean, ugh. There are times when you come off of that shit and you feel like you just came off of like depression medication or something, because you're just so used to your body being used to having all this extra energy or this extra feeling in it, and when you have to wean yourself off of it almost sometimes.
Yeah.
So have you ever been more serious about working, like when you were in the military? Like, okay, at your most svelte, what size were you? How much did you weigh?
I was an extra small. Shirt size, and I would lift every now.
How could you be an extra small shirt size? Is it because you're shorter?
Probably.
I'm just saying, like, I don't remember. I mean, I'm pretty small. I don't think I've ever worn an extra small shirt size since like.
Okay, well, I would wear extra small, so it would fit me snug, so I can look a little more buff than I actually was.
Were you?
Yeah. Well, not.
We gotta get these old pictures of you. I want to put some up for Instagram for people to see your befores.
Yeah, fucking normally I was a size small, and I was always a medium, and I was like, I can get used to this, and I did. I got too used to being a fucking extra small. But then, shit happens. You stop giving a fuck, and before you know it, you're like, wow, I really let myself go.
It's never too late.
It never is. It never is. But I hear it gets harder with age. But I'm like, no, it doesn't.
It's routine.
Yeah.
It gets harder to start new routines, but once you start the routine, you kind of get it. You get your own little addiction to that.
Yeah, in the military, you see fucking 50-year-olds pulling 20 fucking pull-ups, more than 20, like 30, 40, 50, like a complete set, not the kipping, not the bending of the elbows, all the way down, all the way up. Like it should be.
I hate people that do that they say, well, it's not for muscle building, it's for endurance. It's just to see how long you could go. Like, well, what good is that though? Like, when are you ever gonna have to pick yourself up 120 times halfway? Like, should you at least be able to do it once the full way? It might turn out to be a little more helpful in it.
No, but it helps to fucking pull yourself up.
Yeah, I used to get comments from people, because I was always like a $145 in high school and shit, and people would tell me, why don't you work out? Why don't you gain weight? I was like, bitch, why don't you lose weight? Like, the only people that say that shit to you are the people that are like the last ones who should be opening their goddamn mouth. It's like, you are 200 pounds, 5'8", and still in high school. Your metabolism hasn't even fucking slowed down yet. What's your excuse,
Yeah.
And they're like, why don't you gain weight? You're too little. I was like, motherfucker, just because I'm like 3 inside of you doesn't mean that I'm fucking tiny, man. Fuck you guys.
The closest thing I ever get to that, to where I'm the asshole saying fucking you should lose weight, you should gain weight, is me asking people, like, I'm like, so, let me guess. You have a pretty high metabolism, don't you? Oh yes, how did you know? I'm like, well, fucking...
Yeah, it's a lot easier for some people than others.
Yeah.
Like, I don't tell people, like, oh man, you need to lose weight here. But, like, if somebody makes a comment that they're unhappy with their weight, I'll be the first one to say, hey man, I'm back yet. You want to go out for a walk? Let's go for a walk.
To each their own. You want to stay fat?
And like I asked you, like, hey man, do you actually want my help losing weight, or do you want to handle this on your own? I'd prefer to handle it. Okay, then I'll quit fucking bringing it up. I just thought I was being more helpful than I was. Once I saw it in your eyes that I was just being fucking annoying, I was like, well then we'll stop, dude. It's not helping me to fucking go out for a walk with you. I'd rather go for a run before you get here. But I'm just trying to help a buddy out.
I know. I'm the same way.
But it's important also to recognize when people don't want your help, don't fucking keep pushing your fucking help on them.
At some point you become intrusive.
Yeah, it's just rude.
Yeah.
It becomes rude and annoying, and then you motivate that person even less. They want to do it even less just to say, well, fuck him. Pretentious piece of shit.
Yeah, and then they don't want to see you anymore. They don't want to hang out with you anymore. They're like, no, this guy's going to fucking put me to run or whatever.
Yeah, so I had you pick up tacos this morning instead of go for a walk with me. And then we still went for a walk too.
Yeah.
So it fucking, you got to meet people halfway. Enjoy each other's company. Don't just be a fucking burden on people because you want to fucking help them. Like, just because you're trying to help somebody doesn't mean you're being helpful. So.
Yeah, that was a lesson I learned many a times.
How so?
That the lesson that you can't help people who don't want to be helped. You can't save people that don't want to be saved. So I'm like, well, let them be.
Well, and some people that want to be saved, you're just not in a position to do as much as you fucking think you are.
Yeah, I've also been in that situation too, where it's like, God damn it, I want to do so much more, but I can't.
Yeah, some things are just better letting the people figure out and learn on their own. You just can't. It's like kids. You can't tell them, "Oh, I made these same mistakes, so don't you make them." And like in the end, those kids are gonna want to make those same mistakes, so they could learn the same way you did. They have to, we have to. My dad would tell me all the time about shit that he did that he got in trouble for that he didn't want me to repeat. And once I was in those situations, I was like, "Oh well, I won't be like that. I know better. Like I'll make a better decision in the end. I'll make the same exact decision, but it'll end up better for me because it's me."
Yeah.
And of course it doesn't. You go through the exact same shit because you take it for granted that it's your life, not theirs. You're not doing any better. You're not doing yourself any favors.
Yeah, that excuse, I'm not you. Well, sometimes it's a valid excuse. Most times it's not. Like if you got 5 people telling you don't.
Fine. Yeah, I'm not you, but in the end, you are still a human being. We all make the same mistakes.
Yeah, like if you got 5 people telling you don't go down that road, and then one person tells you, well, you can if you want. Which is usually
you're gonna go with that one person frolicking hand in hand, like la 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 la. Oh my God, it's so dark down this road.
Yeah, that's usually me. I don't tell people what to do. I don't tell them what not to do. I'm like, well, if you want, you're going to do whatever the fuck it is you're going to do, regardless of what advice people give you. Like in the Rafiki Harambe case.
Rafiki.
Yeah, I'm like, look, if you're going to cheat, you're going to cheat. You're fucking, you want to do it, no one's going to stop you. Like, what good
Yeah, he needs to start, it starts with the person themselves.
Yeah,
if you could have easily convinced him otherwise, he would have been talked out of it within a sentence or two.
Yeah.
The fact that it ended up with you saying, no, just do what you want, is because he was arguing the more points that you say one thing and he'd come back, well, yeah, but. It's always, well, yeah, but, until you agree with the, well, okay, until you're full circle back to what they wanted you to say in the first place. Like, you're just not going to fix people. Like, people aren't broken, they make decisions. Like, we make bad decisions. It's the human experience to make bad decisions. And it's the human experience to hopefully learn from them. Either you learn to be more jaded and hateful and spiteful over your experience, or you learn to overcome and grow from it and become stronger or better. And like, in the end, it's not necessarily a choice, but it definitely has a lot to do with the mindset you choose to have in that situation. Like, I could have chose with several exes breaking up with me that I just wasn't gonna date anymore, that I'd just fuck around and never have a serious relationship again. But I don't let things like that get me jaded. And I'm like, well, I learned what type of girl I'm not supposed to be with now. Like, let's try the next one, you keep going.
Yeah, they say your first time is a mistake, or, the first time is a mistake, the second time is a choice.
That's a good one. I could see that. Yeah, because we all make mistakes. We make the wrong call here and there because we don't know which way it's going to go. Then when it goes the wrong way, if you're going to keep making that same choice, then at that point it's all on you. You can't call it mistakes.
Yeah, and then you're like, I've already been with a girl like her. I already know how it's going to end up. But the power of boners is strong. So you go with it. Okay, that's what it's a choice.
Strong with this one.
Yeah, that's what it's a choice.
Hands.
And then there's always that, well, maybe this time it'll be different. This time, but this time never occurs.
Well, what can you do?
Sometimes you're right, but you have to really know the person in the example.
It's like that song, what we have here is failure to communicate.
Mm-hmm. Communication is key.
Communication is key. And if these people aren't communicating what they actually want, they're just waiting for you to communicate what they actually want. Anyway, so next topic. What else do we got?
You got the story.
So We do have that written in story from a friend of ours from
into that, the last
email.
episode.
Yeah, that's right. We did. That's right.
Yeah.
Held off for this episode. Little cliffhanger for you guys. Now, this is a story sent in from, let's call her Ashley. Smashly. No. Let's call her Becky. There's always a Becky. Everybody always knows a Becky, and Becky's kind of a crazy girl, right? Yeah, we'll go with Becky. Are you Becky? Do you know a friend named Becky?
Becky.
Call in at completelyinappropriatepodcast@gmail.com and Twitter, on Facebook, all that shit.
I've never had a redhead.
I had a redhead once. She was cute. But I lasted about 5.5 seconds. I was so embarrassed that I took her home and never talked to her again. And I got a voicemail saying what an asshole I was. And I agree with her. I was a piece of shit. I had never been more embarrassed in my life. I was so into her. And I just like a scared little boy ran away. I never said that I was a genius. I never said that I was a good person. I just try.
Well,
and sometimes I fail.
Did you at least explain? Like, hey,
No.
that's never happened before.
No,
I was so embarrassed.
No, I gave her no explanation. She was just like, it's okay. We'll have more fun next time. And I couldn't even, I was such a shithead. So much of a guy's pride and self-esteem is wrapped up in his sexual performance. It literally changed who I was for a week. Bad performances do that to me, man. At least they used to. Now I've got, I'm in a situation where I have a bad performance. It's a one-off. It doesn't happen all the time. So I just make up for it in other ways. I'm married, so I can just buy her something. That only works so long when you're still dating.
People eventually catch on.
All right, so little Ashley tells us a story about Becky. Oh yeah, we went to Becky.
Yeah.
That's
how we got.
Well, you know how these crazy girls are. They always have two first names. So Becky Ashley, like Ricky Bobby. Yeah, Becky Ashley writes in telling us a story about how she was wasted one day at a gas station. So I put this together. It's not as fleshed out as our last story. It'll be a lot quicker. But this is our completely inappropriate story of the day. I had never been so wasted. Which gas station am I at? I wondered. I grabbed for the paper towel and wiped between my legs. Shit. I'm so shit-faced I could barely get my pants up. I flushed and flopped back down on the toilet as I lowered the lid. Phew, this stall's really spinning. I pressed myself up with one hand on the back of the toilet. With the other, I reached out. Searching with my head hanging low, I reached blindly for the support rail. What I grabbed a hold of, though, was wiggly, but stiff. It was flesh. It was flesh coming out of a hole in the side of the stall. I screamed, jumped out of the stall, and jolted so hard I nearly found reserve in my bladder after so recently emptying. Just then my sister hops out of the stall next to mine and says, "Ha ha ha! You dumbass! Did you really think that was a guy?" Holding up her two fucking wiggly fingers. That fucking bitch got me good. I never use restrooms at gas stations anymore.
Why would you though?
Oh hell no! If I was a female, I would never go into a public toilet. That is terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm terrified as a guy going into public toilets, especially when they're fucking gas station nasty. Ugh, woo.
Yeah.
Nasty.
I'm like Oprah. I don't poop in public places.
Yeah, no, dude. If I was a girl, have you seen those urinal things for girls where they're like a funnel that they just press up against their vagina and it lets them piss like a guy so they can direct it?
Yeah.
I would never go anywhere without that. I would just carry it around in a Ziploc bag so I could piss standing up. Because the fact that girls have to sit down on every fucking toilet they go to, it is so disgusting. Walk around with a bottle of Purell or fucking Clorox wipes and get your fucking... If it were me, I would have a ring of red around my ass from all the Clorox that's fucking been wiped on those fucking toilet bowls. I would just let a permanent chemical burn develop around my ass. Rather than sit down on that fucking AIDS-infested fucking toilet.
Apparently chicks can always hover over it.
Now, I've heard that hovering. I don't know about that hovering bullshit, because then you still got to throw your hands down and hold yourself up over the toilet, right?
No, because I knew this chick, one of my many
And
clients.
you can hover on the floor, yeah, but I mean, it depends on the height of the toilet, right? Because Shit, dude, these white guys, these 7 foot tall white people have fucking like rush toilets in their house that like are fucking made for a 7 foot tall giant. Like my legs are dangling almost off these fucking toilets. And I'm not a short guy. I'm 5'11", you know. I'm not terribly fucking short. I'm fairly average, at least for this location. And when my fucking the back of my knees are fucking at a 90-degree angle touching the edge of the toilet, it makes no sense to me. Like the toilet should be low enough where your knees are slightly elevated and you can get a proper squat, grab on and grip it and rip it. You know what I mean? That's just my 2 cents on proper toiletry standards. Okay.
Well, one of my many flames. Let's call her one of my California flames.
Sasha. Let's go, Sasha.
Yeah.
I like making
Sasha,
up names.
the reason I went into horrible depression when I was in the Marine Corps. Anyways,
whatever. You're always
okay,
in horrible
so-
depression for one chick or another. You
So
can't
then-
say she's the reason. You just have depression and you use the girls as an excuse for it.
I found that out fucking eventually. But
Yeah,
no,
there's a
so
way.
she was
We'll figure it
telling
out.
me her little secrets. She's like, oh yeah, fucking, I don't mind going into fucking public toilets because, you know, one of them was that she would actually put her feet on the fucking toilet seat rim thing, and then just squat there.
Pop a squat down like she was basically going on the floor then, because
Yeah.
you're lowering yourself all the way down. See, that's sensible. I mean, I don't know if it's sensible, but it makes sense. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, now, what's awkward is when she locks the door, she's got her feet up. What if somebody comes in? You got to kind of put an out of order sign on the door because people are just going to be like, oh, this door's just locked and try to break in. Because they don't see the feet underneath.
I guess.
No?
I don't know. I never asked that. Or
Hey,
maybe
these
I
are
did,
the
I
important
don't remember.
questions. You gotta dig deep.
Because she was also telling me how her drunk ass would do it on the sink if the toilet fucking.
Dude.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's fucking wrong.
Standing on the sink is terrifying. I've seen high school kids try and do that and completely bust the sink in the bathroom stall, or in the men's room. And that happened twice. That happened once when I was like a freshman or sophomore in high school. Some kids did that. And I think one guy pushed the other guy and he just like landed on it and down the whole sink went. Water spewing everywhere. Just ran out of there and had nothing to do with it. And then at the local civic center, same thing. I was walking in and there was these 2 guys in there. And one of them was, for some fucking reason, standing on the sink. And I don't know if he was going to jump off or what. I walked in and I just saw this dude like half crouching, standing on top of the sink, fully dry. He wasn't going to the restroom taking a shit in there or anything. And as I walk in, I turn and I see him standing, and within that same millisecond just crash down to the ground. And this dude sliced open his forearm on the broken ceramic. It was fucked up, dude. It was fucked. He ran out of there, they ran out of there, and I just kind of walked away. Again,
Like a fucking 90-pound woman will get away with fucking popping a squat on the sink, but a grown ass man that's like at least.
No, these were all boys. They were all still
okay.
boys. That's what I'm saying. They're the size of a grown woman. I mean, they were 90,
Right.
at least 90 pounds. But yeah, who the fuck knows? Just depends on your construction, I guess. Who'd you hire? Anyway,
So about Becky.
should have popped a squat on the sink. What about Becky?
No, wasn't it? No. The story, Becky, how she thought it was like it was a glory hole, and she grabbed onto 2 fingers, thinking it was a penis.
Yeah, what about it? That was the end of the story. What are you asking
Yeah,
about the
but
story?
weren't you fucking
It's not my story.
talking
I
about
just wrote it
something
down.
fucking before I fucking put it in?
No, I was telling you how I don't understand how people would.
Okay.
So anyway, Frank. So any plans for the week? What are you doing nowadays? So you just recently, are you fired? Is that what we found out from your latest
we're
job
touching
prospect?
back.
Yeah. let's throw your shit out.
I got shit canned and
Officially, they're like, hey, sorry, we're gonna have to
well,
let you go.
not officially because they never told me, but they did tell me you have today and tomorrow to prove to me that you can do this. And one thing people have to know about me is that if you use the words, prove to me, fucking, that's it. Like, I'm completely fucking turned off.
Okay, so should they have said, if you don't do your job in the next 2 days, you're fired? Would that have gotten you to do something?
Yeah.
Why didn't you done your job the entire week?
No, I did. I did my job, right? But the thing is,
it's just not an industry that's easy to make. So it makes you wonder what those people do to make those sales.
No, yeah, because I had to learn a script, right? And then I caught on that. And
this was selling electricity, right?
Yeah, and I had to stick to the script, and it would come out very fucking. I noticed that it would come out forced. It wasn't unnatural. So then I started ad-libbing, and my body language would betray me, more specifically my eyes, because I would always look away as in fucking.
Yeah, you were the most fidgety person. Memory. You're so bad at like.
So then, it wouldn't come out naturally, so people would catch on, at least I think. And anything else. So then, anything else comes out naturally, like when I'm talking to complete strangers about the podcast and talking to other people, potential partners for the podcast. That comes out naturally because it's not scripted.
Well, and you're actually interested in it. You actually want to sell it. It's something you're passionate about. When you're trying to sell something like fucking anything, you're just a salesman. Nobody likes this. You're a used car salesman essentially.
Yeah, and then
you're very easy to read. People know that you're just trying to make a sale. So even if you're being sincere with your polite approach, you're actually a polite person. It seems insincere because the end result is you just wanting to make a sale.
Yeah. And what happened?
So you got fired. It doesn't. Yeah. I mean, we don't have to get further into it. But do you have anything lined up? Anything you're looking at applying to? Looking for?
Well,
any type of job you're looking at? Food service or?
Glad this happened because now I get to dedicate myself full time to the podcast. Yeah. But for some reason I've been feeling a little bit fucking inspirational, I guess. A little bit inspired. And I was thinking of picking up the guitar again and fucking doing that. Again.
Oh, I let you use this one, but I'm missing a guitar string.
Oh, well.
And it's not tuned.
Yeah, and I haven't played in fucking forever, so I probably sound like shit.
It's okay to sound like shit.
Fucking warm up to that again, and then go fucking getting the word out, going solo again this time, because I was going solo when I was over in California.
Do some coffee shops and shit.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. That won't be a bad idea, little weekend gigs. Leave here, go warm up at home, get dressed, go out for the night.
Yeah.
Go hit up a couple different gigs, If you could do a couple of coffee shops tonight, go do an hour here, an hour there.
And then also, speaking of picking up, I'm picking up my YouTube channel where I left off. So, fucking shout out to, what are they called? The gallery, the fucking witchy shots.
I don't know, you have a big habit of giving out free shout outs to people who don't provide us with even a hello.
No, but
Stop it. Stop selling other people's business. We need to sell ours first.
I bought things from there that I'm going to use for the channel.
Yeah, you bought them. That doesn't mean they get a shout out because you bought them. We bought all this shit from Amazon and we gave them a shout out for some fucking reason because they really need our advertising. But let's get our feet under us and make ourselves worth fucking advertising in, and maybe people will throw us some free CBD oil. Oh, speaking of CBD, now I do want to give them a shout out because they were real nice to you.
Yeah.
And you, not because they've given us anything, but you did purchase some CBD from them. How did that go anyway? Did you end up using it? The CBD balm?
Yes and no. I only used it once.
You didn't even bring it so I could try it.
Well, I only bought one. I used it, right, and then I don't know, maybe I am a fucking sturdy cat. But no, and then I'm like, okay, well, fucking, I'll wait till after probation.
Well, you can ask
probation officer. No, I did that. Apparently, it wasn't going to show up. But that's what happened. Yeah, I was using it, and then I saw a post on Facebook that somebody somewhere, I think the sheriff guy with the fucking thick ass mustache, was saying that it was going to crack down on fucking even CBDs.
Yeah, but they can't. CBD. There's not one they can't because it was made legal in Texas just a couple weeks ago.
Was it legal or was it decriminalized?
It's legal. Okay. CBD is legal now. Okay. You can legally purchase and use it in the state of Texas. Right. As long as the THC content is below 0.05%, which is what you were saying in that other podcast, and which our one of our listeners commented on as well on our Instagram, that it is completely legal. I found out that I think him and his wife have both used it for various pains and aches that they've had. So it's definitely legal now. It's available everywhere, and the people that are cracking down on it, they're assholes. If there's law enforcement saying it, then it just goes to show you how little even people in power end up searching out proper information to justify their act. They'd rather be ignorant to the new laws and ignorant to the new facts that are coming out just so that they can continue with their self-aggrandized fucking application of their own justice.
Yeah, but no, fucking. The other thing is that if it's legal on a state level and fucking prohibited at a federal level, then fucking federal agents can still crack down.
Yeah, but they're not going to. It's not the federal agents that we're having issues with. The issues are the local. PD. Yeah, it's the local PD that can't be bothered with a Google search, or to actually watch the news that's out on every fucking channel saying all the same information.
It's the belief system. It's belief systems that make people dangerous because they wholeheartedly believe with every fiber of their being that anything marijuana is bad.
It's bad, okay? It's real bad. You find yourself amidst these marijuana smokers, and they're all giggling and laughing and just acting a ruckus. And in the end, how are we going to get our taxes paid? They're not paying into the system. They're out there buying their marijuana, not bothering to show up to work, pay their taxes. And they've got a completely fucked up idea on who it is that's actually out there smoking, not knowing that it's their fucking coworkers there getting high off the fucking dealer's supply, so that, jacking their... I mean, I've known cops that have pulled people over and taken the weed, and instead of busting them for it, they give them a warning, let them go on their way, and they give the weed to their cousin or something. They're like, hey, primo, I just pulled this guy over, he had the shit on him, but I gave him a warning, you want it? Like, come on, God, this is the Valley, Valley police here. Like, it's the same in any small town across America. You can't pretend like, well, it only happens here. Or it only happens in small towns. So, like, it happens everywhere to varying degrees. People are human. People take advantage of their positions.
Yeah, see, I have a dream that...
One day.
That married gay couples will defend their marijuana crop with guns.
That was a great meme. We got to give credit to whoever that was that posted that, because that's not you. Don't take credit for something that wasn't yours.
It was originally said by a libertarian candidate. Can't remember his name.
I know, you're useless.
And then
you like to use other people's information and not give them credit like some sort of fucking mooch.
No, it was.
And then you want to give people advertising for doing nothing.
It was said by a fucking libertarian candidate. Can't remember his name. And after that, it caught like fire. It caught wind like fire. I don't know.
It caught wind like fire.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Sure.
I'm multitasking. What happened? Because that's the libertarian belief in a nutshell, And
it was well said. I never thought of myself as libertarian until I read that. I was like, oh shit, am I libertarian? Because that's pretty on par for the ideology I'd assume. Let's see, what did you put here? It was, exactly what you said. Like, I have a dream that blah 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 blah.
I'm going to type in who said, because I know it was a libertarian candidate.
What are your political views? I want gay married couples to be able to protect their marijuana plans with guns. That's fair. I think that's fair. Because you're not going to get rid of guns. How do you feel about this whole... no, we just need to get rid of guns. Get rid of all guns. All of them.
Apparently it's
we can all live with bows and arrows.
Who said that?
Bows and arrows are okay to have.
Oh, okay.
machetes.
Well, here's my thing with that, and I had it's not a ruse, but it's gonna sound like a ruse. But there was a time when people still are protesting ICE. They're not happy with ICE, and they're
Well,
saying.
did you hear about this stuff that happened at the border where they were promising that they were going to give immigrants a bus ride to the airport and they would give them a one-way ticket to wherever they needed to go in the country to get to their families? And they picked them up, took them to the airport, and flew them directly back to their homelands. So instead of they lied to them saying, yeah, we're going to let you into the country, you get to go where you want, we're going to send you to get you away from this concentration camp of an area that we've had you in. And they ended up just loading them up and sending them off like, psych! Peace out, homies!
That's another thing. If the government lies to you, it's okay.
Nah, the government's not lying to you. The government
lie
was
to
lying
the government,
the government was lying to people that weren't.
if you lie to the government, it's a crime. It's a federal offense. I'm like, how
Yeah.
does that work? Come on.
I mean, it's supposed to be a crime for them to lie to us as well.
Yeah, but it only works one way.
But I mean, who's going to enforce it? It's the people are supposed to be able to enforce
Yeah.
the law on the
I
government
heard-
as much as the government
Um,
enforces it on us, but that's not the case.
yeah, back when I was studying fucking criminal justice, one of my professors was telling me, or telling the class about how there was this one guy that he knew of that actually fucking wrote himself up, did a report on him for something stupid, something minuscule. It's like, no, it's a crime. I'm gonna write myself up for this, and I'm like,
Well, good.
if
Good on
more
them.
people were like that.
Yeah,
But like,
some self-realization. That's amazing.
yeah, but it was something stupid like fucking not halting
Jaywalking
at,
or something.
fucking 5 seconds at a fucking stop sign. Or
I think it's
whatever.
3, isn't it?
Wow.
Is it 3 at a stop sign? I don't know. I barely.
Go
passed.
with 5 to be sure.
I never did. Anyway, doesn't matter. So this has been our podcast today. We're at
Holy
about 45
shit.
minutes. You want to call it here? We'll end with that
yeah.
and get more into our,
Yeah,
our
we'll
gun
fucking-
control. And
Yeah, we'll touch that some other fucking episode.
yeah, we'll try and get into politics next week. We'll
See,
brush
that's
up on
good.
this. Oh man, we've got to talk about that dude found hung himself in the cell.
Oh, fucking Epstein.
Yeah, Mike.
Mike Epstein. By then it'll be old news.
Is it Mike Epstein or am I
Yeah.
just thinking of Mike Epps,
No.
the comedian?
Let's just call him Epstein.
Whatever,
I'll start
Epstein.
it down.
So Epstein hung himself with it. I mean, but he had a roommate. He was on suicide watch, but for this fucking 15 minutes, he wasn't like.
Yeah,
okay, we got to get into
too many
this next
coincidences,
episode.
But yeah.
We're gonna have a new story for you next episode. A new completely inappropriate story written up for next week. Hopefully, we'll get some more in. If not, I'll just have to write down my own damn story, see what the hell comes out. But thank you, everybody. This was a good one. We had some fun
Yeah, we
getting
just
into everything here.
spoke about stuff.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to Roz Monster again. Hopefully, we'll get her interview later on, and we'll be able to add it either to the end of last episode or the beginning of this one. We'll figure it out. So, follow us, guys, on Completely Inappropriate Podcast at gmail.com, Completely Inappropriate Podcast on Facebook, and what was it?
And at Completely Inapt on Twitter with 1P, and CI Podcast on the Instagram.
On the Instas. So hit us up, everybody. We love doing this for you guys. We're having a lot of fun developing the show, getting it to what we need it to be. Hopefully we'll have it structured a little better as the time goes on, but we'll be able to do that better if you guys call in, message in, let us know what you want to hear about, what you want us to talk about, what part of this conversation you've been enjoying so we can expand on it some more, or start using these little segments that we're putting together. So we have been the Completely Inappropriate Podcast. I'm Tony, and
I'm Frank.
he comes from his mama. He likes pie. Thank you, everybody. Have a great one. We'll see you next week.